Welcome back to the Homestead, everyone. I am Graham Wright. Today we are working outside in the garden again. We are super late on planting corn, but we're still gonna try and get it in the ground. Seed Time said that I can get it in like this last weekend. And so like maybe we're a few days behind, but according to the packaging, I need it to be planted like 2 weeks before my last frost date. So we're gonna try and grow corn anyway. And we're gonna do sort of like a Three Sisters garden, but not really. It's gonna be corn and it's gonna be squash planted in that same area. So we're not doing the beans. That's the only part of the Three Sisters that we're missing. So it's Two Sisters garden. The kids right now, they're pulling weeds, prepping the bed for me. And what we do is we take those weeds and we feed them directly to our chickens. So that's why our garden bed is where it is. And then this garden bed that we're planting in is the one that we inherited from the previous owners. It's got really good soil. And it's surprisingly like really rich, really good. We haven't had to amend it at all. I don't know, pretty good and like really nice and loamy. So I'm not gonna complain about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get going and start working on this garden. What are you planting?
I'm planting marigold.
And we're planting the marigold on the edges of our rows.
Yep, so that hopefully we can deter? Hopefully we can deter the deer.
So they say marigolds keep deer away because they don't like the smell. So we're planting the rows, the ends of our rows with marigolds. If they sprout, great. If they don't, oh well. And if they do deter the deer, then even better. Obviously nothing's gonna deter deer like an 8-foot fence, but I don't feel like digging an 8-foot fence all the way around this garden plot. Okay, Miss Diane has my rake, so we're gonna dig more stuff out by hand. So the corn we're planting, there's only 75 pieces of corn, and so I don't know how far we need to go. We need to space them 12 inches apart, which I believe means we can get, two rows going here, and then in between the rows will be the squash. So, and then if we have 2 rows going, 75 divided by 2, that's 36, 12 inches, we need 36 feet. So I'm gonna have to measure out 36.5 feet-ish, give or take, I think is what I'm looking for. Or maybe we plant it a little bit more intensely. But when you plant your corn, you want to plant it in blocks. If you don't plant it together in blocks, then it won't pollinate. And it's pollinated by the wind, not by a bug. So, and every single little hair on your corn cob needs to be pollinated. That's how that works. Okay, so this bed's mostly done. It's not perfect by any means. There's still a lot of organic material in there. That will break down, and obviously we'll have to weed it out, but like, this looks significantly better than it did before. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start planting our corn, and then we're gonna make 2 rows. And they're each gonna be a foot between the rows and a foot between each piece of corn. And that's gonna be our goal. So we should be able to go from where you're at basically down and be able to get all of our corn planted in this area. And we're just gonna use a step to kind of mark out that 1 foot, because I wear a size 12 shoe. I think that's 12 inches, right? Is that what that means? So we'll be able to take 1 step and then plant a piece of corn, step corn, till we get to the end. And that's what we're gonna do. So let's get to it. future Graham here, my camera died while we were recording that video, and there's not really a conclusion to it. So we did get the corn planted and in the ground, and we decided to plant watermelon in there. And planting watermelon and corn does work because the corn will provide some shade for the watermelon, and the watermelon will sprawl out, providing weed coverage as like a barrier. So it's an intercropping method that we're trying there. Hopefully it works. Now, typically, if you're going to intercrop corn and watermelon, what you would do is you would get your corn to about a foot tall, and then you'd plant your watermelon. But we planted them both at the same time, and hopefully that results in a good harvest for us this year. We did plant some beets in our rows. We also planted a bunch of flowers. So we planted some stemmed flowers and just some pretty things that we've been wanting to grow. Anyway, that's all we have for today. Check us out on our next video. Thanks. Bye.